Hello and welcome to part 4 of the route analysis videos for Traveling Taiwan Series 1. You might notice that my voice is a little bit different today, and that is because I'm currently recovering from bronchitis and I just got my voice back today, so it's a little bit raspy still. But if you haven't seen parts 1, 2 and 3 of this series, I will link them in the description below. And if you haven't watched Traveling Taiwan Series 1, you should probably go and watch that first and then come back and watch these videos if you'd like more insight into where I went. This part is going to cover days 8, 9 and 10. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so here is day 8 of my trip around Taiwan's coast from Taimali to Hualien City, so let's have a closer look. So it rained all night and it was still raining in the morning, so when I left the hotel it was still a bit cloudy, and then I went down the mountain back onto the main road up the coast. So just following the road, getting to Taidong. And I wanted to go into this park in Taidong, but I couldn't find the entrance when I got there, so I just decided to head on. And then I got to this interesting area here, Jialulan. Jialulan has this very interesting cliff and stunning scenery looking forward toward the mountains with the clouds going over, and this is also where I saw the jets flying over. And it kind of makes sense because if you look at the map here, there is a runway here. So no doubt that's where the jets had taken off from. Anyway, after that, kept heading up the coast. Then I got to this place, water running upward, which was really interesting. It was water appearing to go up the hill. Now it's an optical illusion, but it was interesting to see, something that not many people know about in Taiwan. So that was an interesting place to go. Continuing up the coast, just continuously heading north up the east side of Taiwan. Very long trip this day was. It was the longest. Then I got to Sanshantai, which is this area here. This island used to be attached, but now the sea has went over and they've built a bridge. And there was a really cool bridge. It had 8 arches on it. And when I was there, I did think about going across, but I thought I don't have the time to go along all the bridges to explore the island, and it's definitely a place I want to go back to and visit. And over here was the stony beach that had the very noisy waves on the stones, which was very cool. And this bridge was damaged by the earthquake that happened in 2022 in September, so it wasn't going to be fixed until April this year, 2024. But there was another earthquake, so I don't know if it got damaged again or if they had repaired it properly by then. So I'll have to go again in the future. Really cool though, really beautiful area. And just still heading up to Hualien, through Hualien County. See, is a very long route. And then I got to here, and this is the Tropic of Cancer marker. So the Tropic of Cancer, as you know, goes around the entire world, and it happens to pass through Taiwan. And this marker is here to show you this is where you're crossing the Tropic of Cancer. So just kept going up every now and then having to cross bridges, to cross rivers. A really nice ride up the coast, right next to the sea. It's really cool. You're right next to mountains as well. And at this point, took kind of hairpin turns. Kind of going away from the coast because there's just cliffs here. And get into Hualien. So this is when we got to Hualien City, and that is the end of day 8. A very long route, but some very cool features along the way. Definitely some places I would like to revisit. So let's move on to day 9. Here we are on day 9 from Hualien City to Yilan City. So let's have a closer look. So from Hualien, the first place I went to was this camera shop because I needed to buy a new SD card because the one I had was completely full and I had to take a lot of footage in Taroko that day. So started heading through Hualien. I took pictures from this bridge here looking toward the mountains and the front of this temple, and then I headed north through Hualien, and as I was passing this place here I saw jets coming into land, which is pretty cool on the runway here. And then I just continued north, heading towards Taroko, and then I got to the entrance to Taroko Gorge. So headed into Taroko Gorge. Inside the gorge it was so beautiful. Almost everywhere I went it was something new and exciting and just stunning to look at. And got to here. Now this is where the cars were all stopped. The road was closed until 2 PM and I could have continued on. I was intending to go another 18 kilometers, but by the time that they opened the road I thought it was a bit too late, so I wanted to get to Yilan before it was too late. So I headed back. So I'll have to go back to Taroko Gorge in future, crossed the bridge and started heading up the coast again. Now this area here, this is where I stopped for a little pit stop, and this is where I saw the giant spiders. Now when I was there was other travelers also there from one of the universities in Kaohsiung, and they were doing some photography with their black and white film camera, and they asked me, do I want my picture taken and they'll send it to me, and I said sure, go ahead. They took my picture and I gave them my email, but they never got back to me. So if you were the person somehow watching this now, or you know someone who took a picture of a random foreigner in Hualien in 2022 and he was talking about the giant spiders in the area, please let me know, because they still haven't sent me the picture, and I don't know if they lost my email or they just mistyped it or something, but I never got the picture. So it'd be very interesting if someone out there could find out who that was. They can get into contact and send me the picture, because it was just interesting interaction. Anyway, I continued on along the road next to the sea here, getting to the Taroko National Park boundary marker. I know there's a gap here, but it's because Google Maps doesn't realize there's a road over here. Anyway, continued on north, just sticking to the coast as much as possible. And getting closer to Yilan. And then I got up to the Suhua Highway, and this was really cool, this area. This was very high. This was about 300 meters from the sea up. And that's where I saw this whole bay area and this little area sticking out as well. It was an awesome view, brilliant view, beautiful. Looked like Hawaii from up here. Amazing place. If you could ever go up this highway, it's a great place for photos of the area. So, continued up, getting close to Yilan now, and I went to this lookout, which is looking over this little fishing village that I showed in the video. And then continuing on up into Yilan. And then getting to the hotel. So that's the end of day 9. So now let's go and have a look at day 10. Day 10, and that was from Yilan City to Geelong City. So let's have a closer look. So headed out of Yilan, and the first place I went to was scenic Wufengqi. Beautiful area, spectacular waterfalls, a really big waterfall nearby, and lots of little waterfalls on the way up. Very beautiful, peaceful area, very scenic. And then I continued on up the coast, very close to the coast, and went all the way to San Diaojiao Lighthouse, which is the easternmost point of Taiwan. Technically, it'll be probably this rock out here, but we can't go down there, so this counts as the easternmost point of Taiwan. So I continued on, of course sticking to the coast, and then I just kept going, heading north. This is where I saw some interesting looking rocks next to the road. That's why I stopped there. I showed it in the video. And just following the road, getting to the north coast, I stopped here at Nanya Rock. And Nanya Rock was a cool, interesting rock eroded by the sea. So an interesting place to go to. Then I continued on because I was going to Jiufen, which I was very, very excited about at the time. So then Google Maps told me to turn left here, and I did not realize that the Yin Yang Sea was here, so I didn't look at it. So I turned left, headed up the hill, saw some really cool waterfalls on the way up, and then I got to the Golden Waterfall, which I didn't even know was there. I did not know about this waterfall, so I came across it, so I showed you in the video the Golden Waterfall. And then I headed on through the mountains toward Jiufen, and it wasn't that far. And I took the photo of Jiufen and the surrounding area all the way to Geelong from up here. Very cool view, one of the best views of the entire trip for sure. And then I went down the hill I went into the old street and I did explore the old street for a little while. So I'll put some pictures of that up so you can see what I saw. So I showed you the video of Zhoufen Old Street. Then I headed down the mountain and I was heading towards Geelong because it was dark. So not too far, got to Geelong, got to the hotel, and this is Geelong Port here, and that was the end of day 10. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and a comment. I read all the comments. If you really liked the video, please subscribe and watch my future videos. I have a lot of videos coming up soon, back to my regularly scheduled programming. If you want to see more, you can click up here to watch Traveling Taiwan Series 1 if you haven't done so. Or you can click here to watch another one of my videos, or you can click over here to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.